Okay, so today I'm talking about a very different kind of book, and I'm really excited to talk about it. See, the thing is, as a librarian and as an English teacher, I spend most of my time talking about fiction, and I love fiction because fiction is imaginative. It lets you really stretch your mind to think about things that you've never thought about before, think about things in a different way. It builds empathy, right? But I also love nonfiction. I'm a huge fan of biographies and autobiographies. I'm a big fan of uh, historical books, and I'm a big fan of other kinds of nonfiction. But we don't talk about those as much. I've talked about Sarah Urst Green's art book, but that's probably the only book that kind of doesn't fit the biography autobiography area of nonfiction. So I'm going to talk about a different kind of nonfiction book today, and I'm really excited to talk about it. And I think it's a really unique and special book in this category. So the book I want to talk to you about today is Mixtape Potluck by Questlove. So let me preface this by saying that my wife and I really love to cook together. Before we had kids, we used to go to the local Williams Sonoma, and we would take free cooking lessons every Sunday together. And that was at a time when we went to church on Saturday nights. So we could do church Saturday night and do the cooking class on Sunday morning. It was just a really sweet way for us to build our relationship, and we learned to love cooking together so much. But since we've had kids, it's been a lot harder. We've spent years with one of us entertaining the kids while the other one's preparing a meal. Usually, I'm the entertainer and my wife is the chef. And then now we've kind of gotten the kids where they can leave us alone to cook, but we also have a brand new puppy who is kind of under our feet, and she's sweet as can be, but we got to get her to learn to kind of give us some space while we're doing that. And we can't wait to get back to it. So aside from loving cooking, I also deeply, deeply love music. And even though this channel focuses primarily on ska and punk, I love all kinds of music: R&B, hip hop, jazz, soul, blues, funk, rock, folk, everything, right? So this book puts together two of my favorite things. So Questlove, if you don't know who he is, he's the drummer for the Roots. He's a world-renowned DJ. He's also a very, very knowledgeable musician and knows a lot of music. It's one of the things he's known for is this sort of expansive knowledge of music, right? So what he does is he will invite a bunch of his friends, and he tries to get a diverse group. So like some friends that are in TV, some friends that are in movies, some friends that are in music, some friends that are in politics or news or whatever. He wants a bunch of different people that might not get together on a normal basis. And he sends them a song that says, and he to serve as inspiration and encourages them to pick a meal to make a meal that kind of goes with their song. And he thinks really hard about what song fits that person, right? So they come up with a meal that's sort of inspired by or makes them think of that song, and then they bring it. And the other rule is that the food all has to be food that you can eat standing up, because he's going to have this food laid out all around the house, and everybody is going to be like eating while they're walking around and talking to each other. So that's kind of the premise. So this cookbook has, first of all, it's got this great illustration in the front of a lot of the guests that he would invite to his get together. And there's a couple Questloves in that picture. But to give you an idea of some of the recipes that are in here, by the way, the foreword's by Martha Stewart. But there are arrival snacks by Eric Repair, Carla Hall, Tom Sachs, Fred Armisen, Martha Stewart, Dustin Yellen, Ardinia Brown has two of them, right? Then there's Started Up Small Plates by Padma Lakshmi, Greg Backstrom, Ignacio Matos, Camille Becerra, Naisha Arrington, and Kelly Fields. There's Soups and Stews by Maya Rudolph, Shep Gordon, Tariq Trotter, who's also in the Roots with Questlove, Alex Stupak, and Lily Singh. And then there's Sides and Salads by Zoe Deschanel, Marissa Tomei, Eduardo Johnson, Flynn McGarry, Jessica Koslow. There's vegetable offerings by Amy Poehler, Haley Thomas, Kimball Musk, Natalie Portman, Jessica Seinfeld. There's carb plates like pastas and rices and stuff like that by Ashley Graham, Mark Ladner, Humberto Leon, Tanya Holland, Kwame Onwachi, Yvonne Orji, or maybe Orhi, There's Meat Plates by Jimmy Fallon, Carol Lim, Kevin Tien, Athena Calderon, Andrew Zimmern, J.J. Johnson, Mashama Bailey, Missy Robbins, and Chris Fisher. Bittersweet Endings, so Desserts by Jessica Biel, Melody Asani, Dominique Ansel, Christina Tosi, and Joey Baldini. Some drink recipes by Thelma Golden, Gabrielle Union, Keither Donahue, and Dave Arnold. And then some late night snacks by Maddie Matheson, Stanley Tucci, Q-Tip, Jerobi White, and Eric Warsham. Okay, so, and then in the end, there's this sort of guest-inspired playlist, so you can put the playlist together and the dishes. And some of these dishes are really fancy, because there's some chefs in there, and so some of these dishes are things you're not going to put together on a daily basis. But some of them are super, super simple, and a lot of them look really delicious. So I really encourage you, check this out. Unique kind of cookbook for sure.